Hello everyone, it is the Uncensored match build-up show. Liverpool taking on Everton at Goodison Park. The Meresyside Derby is Wednesday night game. I'm Paul Machin, Steve Hort and Chris Pajak join me in the studio for this. What a team!
Cold, mate.
What a team! I know, yeah, you've gone a bit like emo there.
First of all, you're wearing trousers, and next year...
I thought you were going to like cut holes in the thing and put your thumbs through your sleeves for a second there.
Let's stick with it. It's fine.
Yeah, that's good.
It is cold, yeah.
Yeah, it is a little bit. I've got the one portable radiator. It's by me, so I'm fine.
Is it on?
A little bit sweaty.
Doesn't look on. There's no lights on it.
Oh, yeah, no.
Okay.
I'm all right, Jack over there. We'll have to huddle to keep
himself
warm.
out for your body. We've got each other. That's all we need.
Oh, be careful. We've got Omnicron now. We even allowed to be this close to each other.
Yeah, absolutely. Right, sound. Yeah, the Meresyside Derby. We are live here on YouTube, so you can use the live chat if you want to get involved. Or if you're a club legend over on Redmen Plus, you can use the live Discord chat as well. It's a massive game of football. The Meresyside Derby goes without saying, Chris, but I actually think we talked on the Final Word show after Southampton about like this rehabilitative road we're on this season, getting over all the...
Only you talked about that because I couldn't say it.
All the
so I stayed out of that conversation.
The Redmen revenge tour.
Well, yeah, but that's it. But like all the disappointments of last season, it all kind of goes back to Goodison Park. All the paths can be traced back to Goodison Park, and they'll be made up with that, which is something to bear in mind. But this is why it's bigger than normal. Yes, we're in a very tight sort of race with Chelsea and City at the top of the league. There's no room for sort of error at this point. Mm-hmm. But I think in terms of getting back over everything that happened to us, being able to go into Goodison Park and put a good result down would be massive.
That's it, isn't it? And what I found was really interesting is Klopp talking after the game at the weekend, and you know how it's built up too much and stuff like that. And you know, funnily enough, it was Ross that was talking to me and sort of said it, and I read into that as he's talking about it from a fan's point of view. But Ross was very much the other side of things. He thinks he was talking about it from a player's point of view, because you know, it does get a little bit nasty, and Klopp sides just want to play football and stuff like that. And it's about being the bigger person, isn't it? And that's what Liverpool almost have to do in this game, I think, is forget that. Understand that that's what happened to you and it caused all this and all that type of stuff. Forget it. Go and play your game of footy. Don't get dragged down to their level. Don't get dragged into that game. Because if it's a game of football between two sides playing football, Liverpool are going to smash them everywhere. No. So just forget about it being Everton in the derby and go and play your normal game.
It's funny enough because my immediate reaction was that it's become a bit too angry and aggressive, and the derby's been going that way for years, hasn't it, Steve? You know, I think they've been coming. I know we joke about like, calling Evertonians bitter, but they've become embittered over the years. I think it's two now. It's like two generations. It's like lads who were raised bitter are now raising even more bitter children. You know, like it's getting to your granddad before you've got a time when they were actually good and they were fine and they enjoyed football. But I also think it was double-edged from Klopp's statement. I totally agree with the analysis from Chris and Ross there. What happens is it leads to, on the pitch, it leads to stupid things happening. That's how Thiago gets hurt, because Richarlison thinks that he's got to go and put a reducer in. We've seen Tom Davies do this. We've seen Jack Rodwell do this. And what I mean is you've got a bunch of players who are not that type of player feeling as though they have to, otherwise they'll lose the fans. So they do stupid, reckless things.
They've lost the fans.
Yeah.
Do you see any videos from the weekend?
Well, but it's like the difference between learning how to fight on the street, between, you know, or learning how to, like, when you learn martial arts and you learn not to, you know what I mean? You learn the same skill set, but you know when and when not to use it, and that's why the derbies are dangerous, particularly given the atmosphere around their club.
Yeah, especially again, Richarlison done Thiago and there wasn't even a fan in the stadium. Like that's the thing. It can, and Goodison will be a bear pit at the weekend. Like in one of two ways, it's either things are going all right for them and then they're getting behind them because it's just in the 80s, or we're on top and it's a horrible atmosphere. Like again, Chris references the videos we've all seen on social media of the fans coming to clap the away ends at various grounds where Everton have lost or drew over the last few weeks, which is every ground they've been to, and they're getting booed and they're getting told to, you know, the fans are coming over and clapping and they're getting told to you know, like
it's so casual,
everything. Like no, but genuinely, it is. So they're in a toxic atmosphere now. So it goes one or two ways. It's almost the players are like, right, let's put a statement down. And can we get into Liverpool? Can we get the fans back on side? You get the fans back on side by, like Chris says, you leave players at footy and we'll win that. That's absolutely fine. Don't even try that. So the way that they might go about doing it is to like lay one on you. And listen, I'm all right with it as long as it's not like. It's weird because I always think Richarlison gets away lightly because of what happened to Van Dijk with Pickford. Now, Pickford, I think, was reckless and a bit dangerous, but I think he was trying to save the ball. I think he was just dozy. Like Richarlison does, Thiago just doesn't. And I think that's the line you got to get through. Like, and Liverpool have got to be wary of that. Like, you can't do nothing about it. If someone wants to just break your leg or try to, that is what it is. But if there's a 50-50 challenge, like, if we can win the first one, I always think that you know, if they win that 50-50 challenge and the crowd goes up, that's where Everton can get into the game. Yeah. Because if it, again, I think you're right in saying, if it's just a footy match between the best 11 players on each team, we'll win that.
That's the danger of this game, Chris, is that it becomes that where the only wins they get are horrible things. And that's what happens when you become so lost in it. You become so far down the rabbit hole of anger and aggression and just misery and all that kind of stuff that you take your small wins and, you know, you end up celebrating like people getting hurt in football matches. And Liverpool just have to be very, very wary in how they play, because we're going to want the ball and Everton are not going to want the ball. And when they do want the ball, you know, particularly with all that noise and whatever around them, if they get properly riled up, which I have no doubt they will, because let's be honest, they've got a lot of rage to get out. And this could almost be a perfect storm for their fans in that regard. It'll be noisy, even though they hate it. That we just need to be smart in what we do. I don't quite know what the answer is to that, to be perfectly honest. But you also don't want to end up in a situation where you're being shithouses, because you're more likely to get hurt by not matching the aggression.
Yeah, I think for me, you know, take your wins where you know you're going to get them, and that's when Liverpool have got the ball. There is no need for a Liverpool player to go in to a fucking 50-50 and try and break someone's leg. And there's no need for an Everton player to do the same, because what you're getting into is a position where you can get injured. And there's no need for Liverpool to do that, because lose the challenge, we'll still beat you. You know, what you don't want is them to think that you are not going to be fully committed. That's a fine balance, I think, that Liverpool have to toe the line of. But what Liverpool needs to do is forget about it, forget about the noise, go into it, and after 3 minutes be a goal up, because the bear pit atmosphere won't be a bear pit for us, it'll be a bear pit for them. Yeah. And that's when it becomes difficult. If you can get 2 goals, 3 goals, guarantee you they're walking out. They're not staying around for it because it's fucking late on a Wednesday. They can't be arsed with it. They just want to leave the stadium as fast as they can. They don't want to see Everton concede 4 goals.
You don't want it to be a fight. You want to just beat them.
Yeah.
Mate, if it's a footy match, we'll win, because we're well better than them. I'm confident saying that. Again, I know we're going to come to teams later, because Klopp's always threw mad ones out in the derby, because I don't think, again, I've said this before, I don't think he thinks Everton are very good. I don't think, especially when Everton are down, like, we've seen, again, and even around this time of year, where, remember, Origi and Shaqiri started, and we beat them 5-2. Yeah. He's done mad derby selections before. I don't know if we're going to get to that point.
Well, he plays a psychological game, doesn't he? We laughed about this the other week, about how if they think they're shit, Klopp's been very good at letting them know that they're right. And in a funny way, like, you know, if we send our best team out, they go, oh, well, they know we're a threat here. Whereas if we start sending a heavily rotated side, it makes them think, oh God, they don't even think we're good enough to justify putting the best team out. I don't think he'll do that this time around, but we'll talk about that in part 2, certainly. Just a little bit on Everton, Chris. It's a bit dire. I feel a little sorry.
Please don't say you feel sorry for
him. No. I feel, because look, the fans are people too, you know, and like, you know, some of us have different relationships with Evertonians and what have you. You know, the Toffee team. The weird situation for them is the Corey's back now, and Damari Gray's back.
Oh, he's not, is he?
He come off thinking on the bench. Damari Gray plays. They come off the bench at the weekend, so they're both back and both in contention for that. No Mina, still no Calvert-Lewin. If you put all them back in, they're a much better side than they are. But if they get back, I don't know that they'll solve the problems, because it feels like it's getting that on top of them.
No, I think he should be out of a job, Benitez, to be quite honest with you. And look, I know that they've got their injuries and stuff, but you don't survive a run of results like they've just gone through in the Premier League. You shouldn't, if you want to be a good side. You know, Manchester United weren't in as bad a run of form and got rid of a fucking club legend. They've got a lad who managed us in charge, and they're not willing to sack him. Why?
Yeah, can't afford it. Mersey millionaires can't afford him.
Why? No, genuine question. Is it because they haven't given him loads of money to spend?
I think it's the injuries. I think that's what it is. I think the mitigating circumstances was he came into a side where he couldn't spend money, so we had to get a couple of lads on free. And to be fair, Gray and Townsend have been good signings.
Have you seen their run of fixtures?
Yeah, they're in trouble, don't get me wrong.
Have you seen their run of fixtures? Us, for them, might be their most winnable game this month, up until Christmas Day, because it's the Meresyside Derby. I think they've got Crystal Palace, who've only just lost their first game at home at the weekend to Steven Gerrard's Aston Villa.
I've got it here. So us on the midweek, Arsenal on the following Monday, Crystal Palace away, Chelsea away, Leicester at home, Burnley away.
And so that's Boxing Day,
that's
right?
Boxing Day.
Why are they keeping him in a job? Because this could happen all the way through to Boxing Day.
Maybe that's it, though, because they don't expect to win them. So don't tarnish it. They've done this before. Keep someone in, or you do the interim thing where but you're destroying.
Back in charge.
You're destroying someone because they're not going to win. They're not likely to win those games. But I don't know how far
they could be very, very close to the bottom three by the time Boxing Day comes around. And I think that's what Everton fans are wondering about. So it's all well and good not tarring somebody else, but you need something. You can't just spiral for as long as you can continue to spiral for, which is, by the looks of it, an entire month and a half, 2 months by the time their run of fixtures started, where they last got a win. They got knocked out by QPR in the Cup not that long ago. They're a shit side at the moment, Everton. Yeah. Regardless of injuries, they need to do something. The derby could be that impetus. It could be that torch paper for them because it's such a big game. But the likelihood is it's not. Even if they win against us, he's on borrowed time. Rafa Benitez.
I think the injuries have saved him. If he had this run of results with Calvert-Lewin and Decore were fit and all his players are about, he'd have been gone by now. I think the board are thinking, we give this fella no money. He had to go and get free. They had no striker and they had to go and get Rondon. Like, they had nothing. And then they had to go and get They had to get Gray, which has been a good buy. Townsend's looked good. And I think they got obviously it was the FFP stuff, wasn't it? They couldn't spend it. They got the money, they're just not allowed to spend it. I think that's what's saving him. But I'm with you. Like, I wouldn't be shocked if this goes bad on Wednesday, if he's out on Thursday.
There's proper Shawn Michael, Ric Flair, I'm sorry, I love you moments about this where
I'm not even sorry though.
Super kick Rafa's head off here with I'm batting them everywhere. Same with Solskjaer a couple of weeks ago.
No, sorry about it, mate. I love Rafa Benitez, or I love Rafa Benitez the fella. But the second he would put that blue scarf over his head, he's an enemy. He is like no sympathy, no nothing for him. I don't care. I want him to lose every game. I'm not bitter against Everton, but they're a rival, so why would I want good things for him? I thought he'd be a good manager for him, and I actually do think he is a good manager. I think they are very much hamstrung with injuries.
My problem is I don't have enough Everton. And this is a good thing for me, by the way. I have enough Evertonians close to me in my life for me to be that to be. You know what I mean? Like,
it doesn't matter anymore. They don't talk about footy.
No.
They will not engage. It's like you trying to engage me in a chat about the Vikings quarterback today. No, I'm not interested. Moved on.
I have tried it 3 times as well.
I'm not talking about it. So I talked to an Everton fan about footy. They just fucking find an excuse to go to the bog. Yeah. It's what they do. Like, you know what I mean? They're just out of there, mate.
Peek behind the Redmen kit, and obviously we do opposition previews on Redmen Plus, and I spoke to the top lads and went, can one of you come in on Tuesday, do a bit of a preview with Paul or myself? And they were like, do we have to? Can we not do 20 minutes on like the new Bond or like the Beatles documentary? Is good, isn't it? Like, they're not interested at all. And they're down in the dumps. And again, there's 2 ways it goes. It's either last chance saloon and they go down swinging, or Liverpool. We done it to Marco Silva, didn't we? He was on borrowed time. We snotted him and he was gone. Like, again, the way it's heading to Rafa getting sacked on Thursday.
He should be gone though. That's the thing.
Yeah, I mean, like, it's fair enough.
He was never the right fit for Everton Football Club, and he's not doing a good job at the moment.
That's the problem.
And if they want to be a big club, they've got to start acting like a big club.
Yes, but it boils down to me. It's the Dominic Calvert-Lewin stuff. Like, he only played the first 3 games of the season, scores 3 and 3. They've only won 2 since that in the league.
Is that good?
They don't score goals. But that's the thing. You're seeing this happen. We saw this at Southampton at the weekend. They got no one who scores goals for them, so they're not going to win. There's a lot of games they're not going to win. You've got to have brilliant players everywhere else on the pitch, and they've been robbed a bit of that. I know Mina's not amazing, but he's their best centre half. Decore, they're much better with him in the middle of the park. I don't even know what has Alan been playing.
Yeah, he was playing at the weekend.
But they've and that's the thing. They're left with Solomon Rondon as their centre forward or Cenk Tosun. And I saw the echo trying to say, well, he's there. You use him as
people keep talking about their squad, and I get it when you're talking about Rafa, but they have spent money.
Yeah.
And look what they've got.
Yeah.
Nothing.
Well, I don't think I disagree. You know what I mean? I don't think they've got nothing.
Well, what the fuck's Rondon playing up front for?
Well, that's not nothing.
Why? Because they can't go the FFP. They spent fucking tons of money over the last 5 years, and they've got fucking nothing there.
Well, they've got a £50 million player missing out the squad for reasons that we can't go into, of course. But the point is, look, we had Fernando Torres, and when Fernando Torres was at, what did we have? We had David and Go up front. That's where they're at. They've bought poorly, sure. But the point I'm trying to make is that they've got a decent. They're 11.
Liverpool back then, and you know it better than anyone, Paul. They didn't have the money that Everton had over the last 3 or 4 years. We spent all our money on Torres. They spent fucking millions upon millions on their squad, and still don't have a backup striker. It's completely different.
100%. But what to say they've got nothing. Their 11's as good as anything in that fighting for European places thing. They've got, as much as we don't like the goalie's good. You know, he's a good goalie, largely speaking. He's definitely in that calibre. He's an international class goalie. Centre halves are all right. They've definitely got good fullbacks. No, Coleman's on his way down, but Dean is as good as anything in the league. And Seamus Coleman is a good right back. Even like Holgate and that's a good. He's a good defender. They've got a couple of good lads around there. There's another one of the young lads as well who's been playing at the back four. Godfrey. He's sound. Midfield wise, I don't know what Tom Davies is, but he's a tidy footballer. But Alan Decore are good again. Champions League quality centre mids, I'd say, in that. Richarlison sound, Dominic Calvert-Lewin is a 20-goal a season centre forward, and then around that between Gray, Towns. My point is,
what made them good at the start of the season was the wingers knocking balls into the box. None of the players that you've just mentioned were involved. It was wingers fucking whipping the ball in first time to Calvert-Lewin, and as soon as that gone and you're left with those players that you all mentioned, you can't do nothing.
Yeah,
I think the issue they've got, and I think Marcel Brands is getting away with this one, is that they've had 5 or 6 different managers and they've got a player from each of them, and that's not Marcel Brands' job is for that not to be the case.
Yeah, it's continuity.
He should be, here's Everton, here's what we do, and now we're gonna obviously I've got to do a little bit of adaptation to the manager. So you've got to go to the manager what you want and what you need. I get that, but they've got Marco Silva's signings, they've got Carlo Ancelotti's lads, they've got a bit of everything, and again, there's no depth to the squad.
Well, look at the managers. Well, look at the managers. You've got fucking Sam Allardyce, defensive football. You've got your Silva who wants to play. You've got Martinez who wants to play footy. You've got Benitez who likes defensively.
Ancelotti.
How can you possibly have continuity at a football club when you're picking a manager from each end of the scale every time?
Oh, and you know what? Good.
Yeah,
good.
Long may continue.
Yeah,
obviously.
absolutely.
Yeah. But it's that, isn't it? You know, I don't like. I think Rafa's better than he's being, and I think he was all. I said this about the opening games. He needed to take 18 points from the first 3 games.
He wasn't far.
You know what I mean? Like that's how many points he needed to take to win them over. And then he's been hamstrung since. And it was 2005. You know, we had this. You needed lads to step up. And like Townsend stepped up quite well. Damari Gray stepped up quite well. Richarlison, he's a fucking moron for going to the Olympics, by the way. What an absolute knobhead. And it meant that they nearly got an advantage off the Brazilian FA when we were not going to be allowed to play players, and then they just got, it got changed anyway. But great, he did really well for Brazil in the Olympics. Well, you've actually hampered your chances of playing for Everton. So,
but this is the point. He doesn't care. He had a chance of winning something at the Olympics. Doesn't have a chance of winning anything at Everton. Yeah. You've got to change that. Yeah. That's the issue.
Yeah. Listen, you mentioned before about feeling sorry. I feel sorry for absolutely none of them. And again, this isn't. I don't speak out of hatred. Like I've got Everton mates, Everton family and stuff. I don't hate Everton fans or Everton, but I want them to lose every game. And at the minute, that's kind of what they're doing. And whether it's Rafa Benitez in charge, it doesn't matter who it is. My affection or whatever, it kind of goes out the window. It's like put to one side because they're the rival. And listen, if Liverpool go and snot Everton, Rafa Benitez is going to get sacked. And I am all for Liverpool going to Goodison Park and snotting Everton and getting Rafa Benitez sacked because that's where we're at, isn't it?
Dead right, actually. The love for Rafa Benitez. I think he's a good manager, and I think he can do better with that team. my thing of them is if you boot them, and they will, because if we batter them, they'll have no choice because it'll just be what it'll be. I don't think there's any recovering from that. I do just feel a little bit sorry. It's another club where Rafa's gone in and they've had money before, and they've got no money for you, no soup for you, like the fucking money, that season. I think I know, Steve.
So I mean, we had this conversation in the summer before he started, and I said I don't think they'll fucking do anything with Rafa Benitez, right? And regardless of that, his biggest problem is he's picking his own fucking clubs. Yeah. He's a terrible judge of character when it comes to a football club and ownerships of football club. Somebody else needs to do that for him because he's had Inter Milan, fucking Real Madrid. He's some of the worst owners. Newcastle, Liverpool under our ownership at the time got changed. Every club he's gone to, you are top 10 worst owners in football. Stop picking. Let Monster decide where he's going next. Yeah. You know what I mean? Because he's a terrible judge of character.
Yeah, maybe he just needs to do a spinning globe and just put his finger down. He's got as good a chance as...
Honestly, better.
As any. Yeah, shame. Poor old Rafa. But again, we'll worry about that when what happens next. Maybe
he's too trusting. He just wants to see the best in everybody, and he can't.
He's a good guy.
It's old snake oil.
It's a shame because I say this about the Everton thing. I'm not looking for Everton to be better than Liverpool. Duh. But I'd rather they be better than like Arsenal.
Why?
Because fuck Arsenal.
Yeah, but fuck Everton.
but I think but the problem is this city is a worse place because of how horrible half of the inhabitants are, because of how bad their football team is. This city's a much nicer place when they're not dreadful. And we've got to live in this city, and you've got a generation of just really horrible human beings.
Monday night games are brilliant because Everton fans are walking around loving the weekend. You know, nothing can be ruined until Monday night. It's just a much nicer atmosphere in Liverpool when Everton play Monday night.
Yeah.
And they love it as well, by the way.
Yeah.
I got mates on Facebook who, like, literally a fucking few weeks ago, he was like, "Oh, I'm so glad that Everton are playing Monday night.
They can't ruin me Saturday night.
They can't ruin me birthday night out." He's literally said it on Facebook, and they all laugh and they all know about it, and they all know it's fucking true because they can't help it. They fucking love their club. They do. Everton fans fucking love their football club,
but they hate them
as well.
They really hate them
because they put them through the fucking ringer. It must be so soul destroying to know that these lads don't give a shit about the team that you fucking adore.
Yeah, absolutely. We got a super chat in from Trig Josh here. Hi Redmen. Gonna tempt fate and play Virgil. Personally, I hope we twat them all over the park. Loved how Trent was not fazed by Richarlison and laid them dead eyes on him. Yeah, we'll talk about the Liverpool lineup after the break, of course, but we got another comment here from Jono saying the Everton spaces on Twitter was special, not gonna lie. Yeah,
like, was that someone put it in one of our WhatsApps like Everton-Armageddon or something?
It was me. I said, oh yeah, so they got beat in the Everton. I went, oh, well, at least their fans are taking it. Never mind. And it was just Everton-Armageddon was the name of the title. Yeah, honestly, like. I was speaking and again. I don't know how much I know of. I don't know if I'm going to name names. But we know of a couple of Evertonian people who might be trying to get their kids not to support Everton anymore. On the sly, you know who's really good at
that? Mo Salah's a good
player. Not even
De Bruyne.
It can be who's really good. Have you ever watched Kev De Bruyne or who's
playing blue?
Yeah, close enough. Or Cristiano's only down there. I wonder, there's a couple I wonder who are there because it's getting to the point where it's unfair on your kids.
I see lads we went to school with, and they're raising the kids, and I see they've had another kid, and I'm like, oh, you're gonna make them a blue, aren't you? You're poor. What are you doing? Why would you do that to your child? Even we've grown up through the most trophy barren period of Liverpool's existence in the time that we've been Liverpool fans, but still won trophies, went to FA Cup finals, and the European games, and blah blah blah.
Let's just put it this way: there are a lot more Marine and AFC Liverpool fans that wear Evertonians than fucking anything else right now, because they've got to go and enjoy something at the weekend because they love footy.
Yeah, the cricket. It's a pity the weather's so terrible in the northwest. Otherwise, because not enough cricket gets played in the northwest, does it? Unfortunately, but never mind. Right, it was a trivia question before we take the break. What was the first time Liverpool played a Rafa Benitez side? What was the score and who were the scorers? We'll be back with the answer after this.
Hey guys, Steve here with some excellent news for you. Usually throughout the year we do a monthly draw for all our amazing Club Legend subscribers. Well, in the month of December, it's the festive period and we're feeling kind, we're feeling giving. So what we're going to be doing every single day from December 1st right up until Christmas Day is a daily draw for all our Club Legend subscribers. We've got some amazing prizes to give away as well. We're going to go through those shortly, but what we're going to do is show you how you guys can make sure your name is in the hat to win some of these amazing gifts and prizes. So if you are not a subscriber to Redmen Plus, if you want to go and join now, it's very, very simple. Go to the Redmen TV website, you click the button that says join us. From there, sign up, join as a Club Legend, either on a monthly subscription or as a yearly subscription, and you guys will automatically be entered into every single one of these prize draws. If you are one of our Club Captain subscribers and you want to upgrade your account to become a Club Legend, very, very simple how you do that. From the homepage, you click the My Account button and follow the steps there to upgrade again, either a monthly or a yearly subscription. Very, very simple. So what amazing prizes have you got, I hear you ask? Well, let me tell you that. We've got a book from Mona Nemba, the Liverpool's head of nutrition. We've got a signed picture of Michael Owen. We've got a Hendo 10 box full of goodies. We've got DVDs, we've got socks, we've got a signed author's edition of our Hendo 10 book. We've got a signed medal signed by former Liverpool striker Michael Owen. We've got our new DVD, Let's Talk About 6. We've got calendars. We've got a signed picture from Liverpool captain Jordan Henderson. We've got every single one of our new Christmas sweaters. You can see them behind me here. All of them, they're flying out of the store, but you can get one for free if you enter this draw. And then the big one, on Christmas Day, saving the best to last. Look at this beauty. It's a framed, signed shirt by none other than the King, Sir Kenny Dalglish. What a prize that is. And all you guys have to do to be in the draws is be a Club Legend subscriber. So sign up at the Redmen TV as a Club Legend. You'll be in the draw. If you're a Club Captain now, upgrade your subscription to Club Legend and you too will be in the draw. 25 of these draws will be happening through the month of December. Make sure you're in it.
Hey, welcome back.
He was a handsome man, wasn't he? That
He
guy?
was good,
Yeah,
wasn't he?
it was like,
Yeah.
you could have a job on QVC.
I preferred the Steor with tinsel wrapped around him to this one.
That's the always warmer. I had stuff. I was like in a cocoon of prizes. It was very warm.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, as Steve mentioned there, if you're a Club Legend subscriber over on Redmen Plus, which is on the redmentv.com, then doing daily prize draws for all that amazing stuff leading up to the Kenny sign thing. We are in Freeview Month still for the moment. Freeview Month comes to an end on Tuesday night. We've got stuff coming up in December, so if you there's over 50 shows, got reaction and build-up and all that good stuff around all those games. Obviously, the Meresyside Derby being part of that as well. There's instant match reactions after every game. There's final words after every game. And there is a feature exploring the derelict Melwood. We've also got the 50 greatest Premier League Liverpool players, a two-part special going out on Christmas Eve and Christmas Day. And you'll get that all as part of your free month. That is the Club Captain level, by the way. So you can't use a free month and get into all the prize draws, but you do get all the content. So go to the redmentv.com, sign up a Club Captain, use the code Redmen Plus, and you get an entire free month of everything we do on our Liverpool streaming service. It's very good indeed. Perfect time to get on board. Hopefully the Reds will be flying up the league table in that spell as well. Right, trivia question. When was the first time Liverpool played a Rafa Benitez side? What was the score and who were the scorers? You had a little bit of back and forth on this in the break.
It was Valencia in the Champions League.
It was Valencia in the Champions League.
I think Aymar scored.
Pablo Aymar did score. Yeah.
2-0.
It was 2-0.
Who scored the other one?
In the Mestalla.
Mendieta.
Ooh, no. It was a central midfielder.
Ooh.
DM. One of the two.
Mate.
It wasn't David Albelda. It was
Raul something or other. Ruben.
Oh, no. Ruben.
Baraka.
Ruben Baraka.
20 and 20 years. It was 2002. Gerard Houlier's Liverpool side, 12th of September 2002.
I think I remember Robbie Fowler after saying like, if Robbie Fowler play?
Robbie Fowler was not involved in that.
Might have been different.
Into Leeds.
Oh, right. He might have moved by then. One of our players then was saying like, at one point we were asking him like, can we have a kick? We just couldn't get the ball off them at any point. I thought it was Fowler, but maybe misremember. But yeah,
for what it's worth, Liverpool had Dudek, Hippier, Risa, Carragher, Traore, Danny Murphy, Didier Man, Steven Gerrard, Salif Diao. Emil Eski partnered with El Hadji Diouf.
That explains why we didn't have
Yeah, there's a few clues.
Did we have 5 defenders then? Did
Did
you say Traore and Carragher and Risa and 2 centre-halves?
No, it would have been Carragher centre-half, I think, we're in that one. With Hippier.
Salif Diao just shielding them.
Yeah, he's sitting in.
That went well.
Christ. They're Canizares. Mauricio Pellegrino were going to play for us alongside Roberto Ayala, Amadeo Carboni, Curo Torres, David Albelda, Vincente, Ruben Baraka, Francisco Rufete, Pablo Aimar,
wow,
and John Carew up front.
Oh God, big John Carew.
John Aliou Carew.
Pellegrino, the slowest player who's ever played for Liverpool. Yeah. Like, not even close. He was the slowest man I've ever seen.
Peter Crouch accelerated.
Oh, long ball away. He said he brought him in to try and sort the zone of marking out.
Yeah.
He couldn't even move. Like, honestly,
he couldn't get from one zone to another.
he was so like, that ball over the top of Southampton away, and Crouch is just, he's like fucking, it's like he's playing young Michael Owen through. He's just like tearing away. Times are much better now for the Reds.
Absolutely. Let's talk about the Reds then and what they're likely to do in this game. Mentioned by Trig Josh there in the Super Chat today. Van Dijk
has to play.
He surely can't not. And again, it's part of this rehabilitative approach from Liverpool. I think that's the final mental hurdle he's got to get over. He's got to get back there, get back to the place where it all fell apart, and prove that he's sound.
I don't think he gives a fuck, to be honest. I just think he is who he is. Like, he's a Premier League game of Virgil wants to play in it. Like that, it is that to me. I don't think he cares. I actually think, and Errol said this on the instant match reaction after Southampton. That was the best he's played for us since he come back from injury. He was outstanding the other day. He was Virgil levels of amazing. Obviously, he's tops it with the goal as well. But yeah, of course he has to play. He's our best defender. Of course he plays. And I agree with Josh's other point of let's go and swat him off the pitch. I'm up for that as well. I think it's evident. Again, I don't know. There's prediction shows to come that you're going to be on as later, Chris, and whatever. But like, he's rested Matip as well, hasn't he? Matip doesn't play the weekend because he's going to play midweek, having played 4. We mentioned before about Jürgen took the piss out of Everton a little bit in the past, and he's changed his team and stuff like that. I think the way Everton's worked out over the last few days is that he's going to play them all. Like, his best 11's going to be on the pitch. Maybe James Milner's one who gets in there, maybe one of them, but I don't think it is. I think it's his best team, whatever he thinks his best team is, and we'll know, because that's what starts the derby.
I think as soon as you're taking off Thiago and Henderson with like 60 minutes gone at the week,
giving Jota a little rest when he's on a hat-trick as well, he's getting saved.
That's all you need to know.
Well, the only one I was going to say in that is that if you're going to make anything wild, I don't think it will be wild. I don't think it'll be 4 or 5. It might be 2. And you might find, like, I don't think he'll do this, by the way, but there's an outside chance Minamino might start because of him being that subs, because sometimes it's resting. So you've given Jota a bit of time off, so he gets a standing ovation. You know, he stays hungry, stays fit, but he does sometimes like to get the next lad up to speed. We saw this with Henderson in the midweek, and then coming back into the game. I wouldn't put any money on that happening, but I wouldn't be outside the realms, because I know it's the derby and it's massive to us. He's also got Wolves at the weekend, who are better than Everton, and he might just want to.
I think he'd go the other way. I think if for some reason he was taking Jota, which I don't see, I think he'd go Divock in the derby. I think he'd stick Divock up front. He's got very fond memories of playing against Everton. He scores.
Not at their place though, really.
Yeah, but just in general,
it's more at our place. He does the fucking mad stuff.
But it's still Pickford.
It's the same goalie, same team. I'd
be sending them all out.
But yeah,
but I mean, costumes anyway.
It does make a difference. Like, where you've got a good fucking happy hunting ground and all that type of stuff. He does tend to just do it at our gaff. Like,
it's just Sadio's fine. Again, I think the 11 actually picks itself. I think it's one of the easiest 11s to predict Liverpool are going to pick in the whole season. Like, instead I predicted the 11, as me and you have found out on the shows and stuff, the starting 11 prediction shows. I think this one picks itself. I think the only change we see, I see Matip comes in for Konate, and that's it. Like, there's a Shimmercast argument But
Not
how
the
well?
way Robbo
But I think Robbo plays midweek and Shimmikas plays against Wolves. But I think Jurgen's always referenced this. We always say the rest and rotation and stuff. I think going Saturday, Wednesday, and then Saturday again, I think they're fine with that. I don't think I think he always thinks I can get my best team on 3 times. It's when it's like Sunday, Wednesday, Saturday. That's when he has to make a few changes. So I think,
especially with like early kickoffs and fucking all that type.
We've got it's literally from Saturday afternoon to late Wednesday. That's as big a rest as you're gonna get. And then obviously maybe does something at Wolves, depending on how this game goes. But I think Liverpool's team picks itself, and it looks a very strong Liverpool team. It's probably, I'm going to make sure I don't say something stupid here. I think it's Liverpool's best 11 is the 11 that's going to start. Like even if everyone was fit, available, and going.
Firmino, you mean?
Well, I'm a Jota man. That's the only. In fact, that's, and obviously there's a keita argument to be made at some point, but. And then, again, I think it's Liverpool's. So it is literally it goes Alisson, Trent, Van Dijk, Matip, Robbo, Fab, Thiago, Henderson, Mane, Salah, Jota. I mean, all the best.
You've got
Everton.
Robbo playing right back there.
All the best. All the best to Everton for that. Like you mentioned before, if it becomes a football match against that team, they are fucked. They have got no chance because they got played off the park by lesser teams recently. That 11 that Liverpool could put out, if they play well, I think it could be embarrassingly bad for Everton.
But that's the thing, Paul, isn't it? Like what Klopp's realised, I think, this season is, when you get to 4-0 up, you can make your changes and do your rotating there. When it's 2-1 and it's difficult and you keep in control of the ball, you're kind of a little bit hamstrung. But when you're 4-0 up, it's like, yeah, all right, lads.
But we've got 2 options now from the bench, depending on how the game goes. Let's just look at the midfield as an example of this. You've got Milner or Ox. So if you want to go and do a bit more, you can put Ox on if you want, and if you want to go and 20 minutes, 10 minutes, whatever, see it out and put a bit more grit in there, where you put Milner in, because this is the thing. I don't know how you change that midfield, because I don't think there's a game in world football that isn't right for a midfield 3 of Fabinho, Thiago, and Henderson. At least for 67, 70 minutes, and maybe there's a fitness thing there.
I think if there was no Decore, you could maybe go Ox. And just go for you could leave Henderson out, or Thiago, probably Henderson actually, and just go for the kill with Ox. But I think Decore is their best leg. He's got the legs and stuff. So I think that the only way they're going to get out of this game is by just running around the midfield loads.
It's indicative though that this was the team we tried to start last season, and it was Adrian and goal being the only thing that was withstanding that, of course.
And it worked well up until the point where obviously Virgil goes off, and obviously then Thiago gets his leg broke, and then we nearly win that game anyway. But again, this stupid VAR nonsense with Mane and Henderson. So yeah, I think the way everything's working, people are getting injured and people coming back, and I don't think it's ever planned, but by hook or by crook, it looks like Liverpool, Jurgen Klopp has the luxury or the availability of picking his best team this weekend.
Yeah,
that's it. And he doesn't have to worry about Joel Matip because he had played 4 games, so he was never playing at the weekend. Mm-hmm. That was obvious from the minute he played against Porto. Everyone's fit, everyone's available, and he wants, obviously, he might argue that he wants Bobby, and I completely understand it. I think we're splitting hairs, but he can pick a really strong 11 to beat Everton, and then you can Wolves will take care of itself. You'll see what's left after the derby, and then that's where you can be able to do the bit here and there.
This is the thing, you're looking at, as I say, Milner, Oxlade-Chamberlain, obviously we see it on Origi, but Origi, Minamino, and I know people are up and down a little bit on some of those players.
Shimmikas will be on the bench.
Kanate
will be on the bench.
They're all, there's a bunch of other players there who game situation allowing you can do some different bits and pieces with, like Minamino and Origi. For as much as, yes, there is a little step down to them, or depending on how big you want to describe it, but they're all in goal scoring form. They're all fit. They're all up to speed with what we're doing. It definitely bodes well, but you're right. It looks very much like best foot forward. And my only thing about this, I don't know how you would change that midfield. If Henderson, Thiago, and Fabinho fit, I don't really know how. There's just no way, because Thiago's been rested and he's great, and he's got a bit of a point to prove in this game as well. And Hendo's the captain, and Fabinho's the 6. So the only one is maybe you do something a bit. Maybe you put Henderson back in the 6 and you put Ox in the midfield. It's a fucking
great problem to have. Yeah. Your best players all performing, and not being able to rotate one of them because their level's above the others. Like, this is still a relatively young side in the games that they've played together. This midfield is not experienced. We're not hit the best yet, which is why he played why he played the strong side midweek. We said it on the build-up show for that one. Don't be surprised if Jurgen doesn't want to miss an opportunity to get better. And that's what Liverpool have done. And they've continued to build on that, and they'll use Everton as a building block to get better so that they can go on and try and win the league. That's what it's all about. Klopp said it after the weekend's game, there's things that we can improve. That's a good thing, you know, and we're still winning games 4-0 and we're not at our absolute best yet.
And I suppose as well, like, there's a couple of backups there who'll be genuinely good and like usually as you're a backup, you know you're placed in the squad, like I get that, but like Shimmick has to be thinking like there's nothing else I can do. Like I've been really, really good, I'm a bit unlucky. Oxlade-Chamberlain will probably think the same. He's been excellent for a couple of weeks now. Ever since basically West Ham, where we all shit the bed, Ox has been one of our better players.
And before that, he was great against Atletico.
So he's another one. Who'd be thinking, you know what? I theoretically, there's a chance I could have got in this game. I don't know. Canate maybe.
The good thing about these, Steve, is that we've seen already players come and go. People pick up injuries, they miss a game or two. You want to be, those lads have just got to be ready and waiting in the wings, and that's where we're at, which we weren't at. You know, a month ago we looked or 3 weeks ago we looked really, really threadbare, and that's the point about this is that we all know what we want. We all have an idea of what we think Liverpool's best 11 is, but I don't think anyone here would be asked if we randomly saw one of Minamino or Origi in the front three, and we saw but like you know, by asked. Like there's a scale to it.
I'd look at it and go, okay,
exactly.
Because you know what, they've proved that they can fucking do a job each and every week.
If it's I mean, Mane and Salah have to play London. You're saying Jota comes out for Origi or Minamino?
I'm honestly, Steve. My point is, you could take. I'm not Salah, but like you could put Divock in for Jota or for that, or even Minamino, because I would I'd trust that. They'll probably do something for us.
And Jäger knows what he's doing.
And these are not lads who are thrown in out of the cold for no reason whatsoever. And again, with the Ox thing, you could either put Ox in for Henderson, or you put Henderson in the 6 and put Ox in that position, then you rest him for Fabinho, and you've still got that side's more than capable of doing the business.
The best thing about this Liverpool side is exactly what happened with Southampton at the weekend. Is they played a formation that Klopp himself said, I prepped them for 4-4-2. I talked to them about how to break the 4-4-2 down. We worked on it. They went out there, they didn't play 4-4-2, they worked the answers out themselves.
In like 2 minutes.
This is what this Liverpool side does. Yeah. I expect Everton to do something different to what they've been doing, because it's Rafa Benitez, because it's Liverpool, because he'll look to try and stifle Liverpool in some way. The Everton fans won't like that. That they're going to sit back and, soak up pressure and try and hit them on the counter-attack, but Liverpool will work out a way.
That's the one thing they do have, though, and it's something to be wary, because that's still where we have suffered weaknesses. They should be looking at Brentford and going, we can get a noisy ground, we can if we can stay in the game. And Rafa's
we've just found out they're not as good as Brentford.
Yeah, true.
Yeah. Set pieces and things like West Ham, maybe. Yeah.
But that's it. They'll have something. They'll cause us problem. And again, it's Rafa, so he'll have a couple of things up his sleeve. He will do. And if they've got Damari Gray fit, and I know Iwobi, they're not a big fan of him, and he's not great, is he? But he's fast, and they've got that going for him. And Gordon's a good little player as well. They've got. Andros Townsend, we've seen him. He's got the ability to come out of nowhere and stick one in. We need to be wary of that. They can cause us problems, but if we do what we do,
there's a dead easy solution to it, isn't there? Of just doing like we're averaging 3 goals a game. There's the solution right now. Just going for 3 past them because
they can't score.
But that it's like again 39 games. It isn't even a small. 39 goals in 13 games. That isn't a small sample size. That's a big sample. So it's a third of the season, and Liverpool have got 3 goals in every single game. Like. Our threat up front is ridiculous. It's absolutely absurd, and we're getting goals from elsewhere, which is so good to see. And again, me and Ella spoke about this after Southampton. It's like all the players you've got 1s and 2s and 3s and things like that. But like the flip side is we're doing it to everyone. Like it's 2 goals a game for the last 17 games. Like if we get 2 against Everton, I'd be again. This might come back and bite me on the ass, but you'd be shocked if we lost.
Yeah.
Now if we scored 2, you'd be gutted if they fucking score 3 past us. That's the thing we've got. We've got the goal threat to just absolutely kill them. And the hope is, if it's an early one like Jota got at the weekend, that ground's going to be awful. It's going to be horrendous for them.
You can empty that ground on 60 minutes if you play like we did against Southampton, and we do what we did in terms of the goal return. Absolutely. Yeah. Let's have another little look then, or a quick look at the other fixtures in the midweek games this week. Newcastle hosting Norwich. Wow.
It's a big game now.
That's a big game. Leeds host Palace. Southampton host Leicester. Wolves host Burnley. Watford host Chelsea. West Ham host Brighton. Everton host us. Villa host Man City.
Well done, Stevie, lad.
Yeah, big Stevie Gerrard. There's a chance for him to win over the hearts and minds even further of the Liverpool faithful there. Tottenham host Brentford and Man United host Arsenal. That Man United-Arsenal game, how the mighty have fallen. It's funny how that went from that was the game of the early noughties, the biggest game in the Premier League, and now it's like a
table clash.
Who's gonna?
It's not fair on Arsenal. That. I'll take that back.
It's a Champions League chasing game, isn't it?
For Arsenal, yeah.
Rather than a Premier League
Who's
chasing.
It's a fourth to sixth in the Premier League battle, that isn't it? Shame. But the Villa City stuff, no expectation.
Arsenal are going to get top 4 this season, I reckon.
They look really good.
I think Arsenal comfortably clear of West Ham, and then Leicester, United, Tottenham fight the rest of them.
It will be very I did have a moment though looking at the United-Chelsea game, and look, United were not set up there to try and play the game of football against Chelsea in any way, shape or form, but when you looked at them, they just played Jadon Sancho, and that finish, he's just like, he's class, isn't he? He's absolutely fucking class. If they can find a way to just not use Ronaldo and have their other good, really fast, skillful, young, hard-working lads in attack, we forget that we are good.
But they didn't really press Man United. Like, I think they could have played that formation with Ronaldo.
But the flip side is they didn't have Harry Maguire on the pitch, and that's a net positive at the moment because he's fucking garbage. Yeah. Like Bailly and Lindelof are well better than him. Like well better. He's
hilarious because they're both terrible.
And then they're not great either. That's again mighty have fallen and all that. I suppose from a Liverpool point of view, looking at those fixtures, like. Chelsea, you've got to presume we're going to beat Watford. It'd be unlikely they don't.
You'd have to presume that. I mean, Lukaku might be back.
Running.
So, but the thing about Watford, we've seen it. Watford have got the ability to hurt.
They've got goals. They've got goals in them. Yeah. Dennis and
home as well.
Yeah. But Chelsea should have too much. Like Villa away is not an easy game for City. Villa are in very good form at the moment. Obviously, there's only a couple of games, but new manager bounce has worked for us. It didn't work for some teams, like Newcastle hasn't worked for, but it's definitely worked for Villa.
It feels a little like, to be honest, I think City will probably snatch that one. I don't think City will batter Villa. I think they've ridden the luck a little bit Villa in the last couple of games, where it'll just be one of those where they'll hold their heads up high, but it'll show the difference.
John McGinn, 30 yards, 1-0 Villa.
Villa do have a goal threat, if nothing else. And actually, again, under Gerrard, they've been very good at the back. And this is what Gerrard did when he went to Rangers, you know. Everyone thinks of Stevie J as this big swashbuckling, attacking fella. The first thing he did was sort the back. He just sourced the back. That's the first thing he did when he went to Rangers. He looked, again, it's only 2 games and stuff, but he's done both of those things. Going to Palace away is not easy and getting a win like they did. The one against Brighton, they got it in their nature to frustrate Manchester City. Manchester City are amazing, don't get me wrong, but it's not beyond the realm. It's one of those games where like you're just writing Watford off. You're just thinking Watford beating Chelsea. There's a City Villa's like a little eyebrow raise. It's okay.
Well, that's the thing about both those though. To be fair to both the managers, but you got Ranieri obviously at Watford now and Stevie at Villa. Neither Chelsea or City are the free scoring teams that Liverpool are, and they've been at other different times. So it'd be again. Hope, not expectation.
Chelsea score quite a lot of goals, just on the slide. Like, people think of them as defence.
It's just all the defenders who score them.
Yeah,
and that's the point.
They've only scored, I think it's about 5 less than us, and we've scored at all-time levels.
Yeah.
I think any other season, you'd be like, fucking hell, Chelsea scoring some goals.
Have you looked at the goal difference in the league, by the way? It's like from the drop off.
There's only 4 teams in positive.
I think it goes like 20. I think it's 28, 26, 20, and then it's like West Ham like 8.
12, Chelsea 26, City 20, Liverpool 28, West Ham 8, and then after that Arsenal -2.
Yeah,
the gap, 0. The Spurs -6.
The ridiculous gap already between the 3 and the rest is. I mean, I always think, again, I think it's your always mentions like goal difference tends to tell you the levels of teams. So if the team who are 4th, even if they're only a couple of points behind City, they are like, 28 goals or something less than them. It's absolutely bizarre like that. Yeah. So that's the thing. Chelsea are amazing at the back as well. They hardly let one in. Everyone laughed, remember, a few weeks ago when that stupid computer done its predictions. It was like, they're only going to let one more goal in between now and the end of the season. And for like about 4 weeks, it was like, that computer might have been right. Like, they're not letting goals in.
They've conceded 5 and 13 so far. But that's the thing about them, is that I don't think Chelsea are not going to lose lots of games, but the weekend is that's what they're going to do. They're likely to just not be able to score. You know what I mean? Like they haven't got, unless Lukaku just.
That's the flip. That's the
play that they expect.
I was about to say that's the difference. He's back. Like Werner, by the way, just looks like a fella who's just. It's almost cruel picking him at this moment in time. Everything he does, he just looks so. What's the opposite of confident? Unconfident. There we go. That's the word. But is that even?
You've used all your grasp of the English language to figure that out.
I was thinking like,
At least you never went with Ree.
Yeah,
Something like that.
basically, he just looks shot, doesn't he? And whereas Lukaku's the opposite. Lukaku's a very confident man. Even like when he's getting slagged off and stuff, he always scores goals. Getting him back now is big for them. Liverpool could do with getting that gap closed a little bit if we can before he's fully fit to do his 90s every single week, because he will win them games.
Yeah.
Again, I'm not expecting if Watford gets something, it's a bonus.
Yeah, I'd be shocked if Chelsea dropped points twice in two games. But again, we live in hope, don't we?
Yeah.
Right, Liverpool, Everton, Goodison Park. Chris Page, what do you think the score is going to be?
4-0 Liverpool.
Yeah, I said by the way, the weekend I got it right. I'm first goal scorer right.
Wow.
Oh,
Could you put money on it?
Of course not.
Don't be stupid.
Me predict a
Not
winning
how that
bet. Honestly, I was at one point I was like, Ed, I was going, you must be made up your predictions. And I was like, absolutely not, because I had Jota 4-0 and I didn't put money on it. So I'm going to put money on this one. No, in fact, I'm not, because it'll lose.
Yeah, exactly.
I think it's going to be 4-0 as well. Mane.
Okie dokie.
He likes to go, loves a little Everton goal, don't he, Sadio?
Yeah, I'll go 5 then. 5-0 to Liverpool.
Yeah.
I'll go Salah first goal scorer. But it's been a while since he scored.
A game.
For him, that's a fucking drought.
Virgil. Score.
Okay.
Imagine, I wouldn't mind 2-0.
And then Hobble as a celebration.
Oh, yeah.
I wouldn't mind 2-0, but it's Virgil and Thiago who score.
Yeah.
Because after last season, when there was memes getting sent around of people of them getting injured and stuff, I wouldn't mind Virgil in front of the park end or the Gladys, and like you say, hobbling around, or Thiago giving it the
Tacky to come on and score the 5th and just empty
with his first touch.
Yeah, exactly. 70, but it's on 70 minutes and just empty Goodison Park.
No, 55.
Okay, yes, that. Yeah, go.
We're bringing in 3 subs on and 55 because we're 4-0 up, and Taki comes on and gets it.
Why not? I just want to say thank you to Sid Senor, who's joined us as a first team member here on YouTube, and Trig Josh sent one more super chat in, and imagine making New Year's resolutions and wishes for the new year, then waking up on New Year's Day and remembering that you're an Evertonian. So sly. So very, very sly. Yes, right, that is us for the build-up show. Starting 11 prediction show. We'll be going out live this afternoon.
Yeah, 4?
Don't look at me.
We'll have to
It's literally my job to know this thing as well.
Yeah, he doesn't. But yeah, in the meantime, as I say, you got one more day after today to check out Freeview Month on Redmen Plus, our Liverpool streaming service. Use the code, all one word, all caps, Redmen Plus.
Yes, tomorrow at 4.
Tomorrow at 4.
That sounded more right to me, because around the league on Redmen Plus is streaming live this afternoon.
Yes.
That's what you were getting confused with.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely, definitely. Yeah, around the league, where I presume there'll be lots of conversations around all these kind of things as well.
Got a Leeds fan. To talk about how shit Leeds have been.
Yikes.
Is he in danger of losing his job?
No, apparently. But you know what? Can he just... Why has he not learned better English by this point, to be perfectly?
Yeah, I think he's fine.
He just can't be arsed.
He just can't be arsed. Pochettino did that for years, remember? And he got caught, didn't he? Fucking not on Sky somewhere, just talking English in a coffee shop.
Your mum's just slagging. He's going, what did you say, lad?
Fucking... damn it!
Your mum is. Oh, no.
Do you know who the Leeds fan is? TikTok Scott.
Oh, boss.
TikTok Scott, yeah. Okay. And the Lewis member of Team Redmen.
Okay.
Leeds fan.
Quality. Boss.
He's on.
Great. Yes, anyway, check out Around the League streaming. If you use the Redmen Plus code, you can get that for free this afternoon. As I say, there's 8 games that period will cover, and loads of extra amazing bonus features and all the amazing back catalogue as well. So yeah, perfect time to join up. But it is the last chance to lose. That code will be turned off on midnight on Tuesday night. So yeah, if you want to have a little feel around and see what we're up to,
turn that one off. Ross.
Right, thank you so much for watching. We'll see you all soon. Ta-ra. Everyone, thanks so much for watching. If you want more from us, then please do consider joining Redmen Plus, our Liverpool streaming service, with extra shows, bonus features, interviews, and incredible documentaries like Netflix for Liverpool fans. We've got the club captain and the club legend here. If you join as a club legend, you get your name in this wonderful list here. Look at them wonderful legends. Anyway, Redmen Plus on the redmentv.com. Join up.